Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DLloyd, and this is the new format of this channel, you guys. It's still a work in progress, but essentially what is going to be happening is we have a new podcast that we are working on. Things are not final as of right now, but this is what you're going to be seeing. So you're going to be seeing the podcast. It's going to be a video form. It's also going to be available on iTunes, maybe at some point Spotify as well. But we're going to be working on it. Just deal with us, especially the next few days as we try to get, some of the wrinkles out and try to just make sure everything is okay. So there will be some hiccups here and there. Hopefully the audio, all that good stuff will be just fine, but it will be a podcast. So I will have a longer video. Then I'll also break those up into shorter sections. So I know a lot of you guys do enjoy some of the shorter sections that we end up doing here. So I think that's going to be great. I like this new podcast. I like this new format. So like I said, this is going to be the new angle of the channel. I'm excited to start. I'm excited for everything to get going. I had a podcast before that kind of fizzled out, but this is the new direction that we're working with a few companies to try to get everything situated. But I am super excited, you guys. It's going to be a daily podcast, Monday through Friday, every single day. Make sure you guys come back because there will be a podcast at least during the week. Any breaking news, I still have that old format where I used to have before. So I'm super excited about it. But we have a couple of things we're going to be talking about today. One of the main ones, we're going to be talking about the San Antonio Spurs and what they are asking for Kawhi Leonard. The asking price is insane. We're also going to be talking about Lonzo Ball and his knee surgery and his camp. And do you think the Lakers and Lonzo Ball have like a secret war kind of going on? We're also going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and what are they going to do with Clint Capella. But first, like I said, Lonzo Ball, he is going to need knee surgery. Now, Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, he confirmed that yesterday on Twitter. He says that he may require knee surgery. Nothing really new. We knew this before, but it is interesting. And something I really want to talk about with this Lonzo Ball knee surgery is, how did this information truly get out? Now, a lot of rumors going on that the Lakers, they believe that Lonzo Ball's camp are the ones that actually leaked out this information. Because how do we know that Lonzo came out? And the timing of everything is extremely strange because it came out when the Lakers and the Spurs were trying to talk about a Kawhi Leonard deal. Now, we also know the Spurs really not too interested in bringing in Kawhi Leonard, of course, but bringing in Lonzo Ball, but it is interesting, the timing, and people are starting to think and speculate that maybe Lonzo and his camp put out this information purposely so that way it could avoid him being traded, and it makes a ton of sense. Just think about the timing. Like I said, they could have put this out earlier. It's not a new injury that really happened, but you could have put this out earlier if this is something that actually happened. You were just being honest about the information. A lot of things get leaked to the media on purpose. There's a reason why. Even with sources, they all have agendas to why they're leaking out information. Sometimes it's just simply to get paid, simply to inform everybody else, or sometimes they're trying to play the game, change the narrative, and make you think a certain way as to why they're putting out this information. So Lonzo Ball's people could have possibly truly put out this information to avoid being traded. We heard that maybe Lonzo could have went to the Suns if the Suns end up taking on that Luol Deng contract. That was the first thing we heard. The Spurs, of course, said they weren't really interested. However, if they're bringing in Kawhi Leonard, we heard there was backup plans for Lonzo. We heard possibly the Lakers could have tried to go after John Wall, and this could still happen. We heard that the Lakers could possibly try to put together a package to trade Lonzo Ball to bring in a John Wall. We know John Wall, heck of a player. I think a top 4 point guard in the NBA right now. But we know him and the issues with the Wizards organization. We know some people higher up with the Wizards aren't really feeling John Wall entirely too much. And we do know that, Lonzo Ball, he could come and be a breath of fresh air. We know Bradley Beal, he wants to be the guy. He wants to be the scorer. Lonzo doesn't mind passing. That trade could actually work out. Of course, the Lakers will have to include either some picks or something else with that. But that trade could potentially work out. Now, something that I heard via Chris Sheridan, which I'm not 100% sure on, is Damian Lillard. We also heard that Damian Lillard could also be a prospect for a Lonzo Ball trade. And the Lakers, clearly, they are trying to win right now. And if you don't know, they signed Rajon Rondo. Now, I think the Rondo signing had a lot to do with the fact that everything leaked out about Lonzo Ball and that knee. I think that was them kind of being fed up with Lonzo and his camp a little bit and deciding to sign Rajon Rondo because their play styles are too similar for you to really have on the same team. Both are going to want the ball. Both are going to want to pass. Both can't really shoot, at least as of right now. Maybe Lonzo, he reinvents his shot. He comes back. Maybe he's a 35, 38% three-point shooter. But as of right now, that is not Lonzo's game. Rajon Rondo never really a shooter. Yes, he can get streaky. Yes, he did shoot pretty good during the playoffs, but that is not what Rajon Rondo was there to do. He's there to get you 15 assists a game. Lonzo Ball, when he's on his A game, he's here to get you at least 10, 12 assists a game, also bring in 7 rebounds, and maybe get you 8 to 10 points per game. But I think that was really in response to the whole Lonzo Ball camp. There's really no other reason you could explain the Rajon Rondo signing, especially at the $9 million price tag, but they're kind of doing this as insurance for Lonzo. And like I said, it makes a ton of sense. Maybe you can trade off Lonzo Ball. Maybe you can just give a warning, hey, you're not guaranteed to start. Because what we're also hearing, when they signed Rajon Rondo, they signed Rondo by telling him the best player is going to play. So you're not going to play just because you're Lonzo. The best player is definitely going to play, and that could definitely, like I said, be a sign that they're not 100% comfortable with this Lonzo Ball situation, and he could be wearing out his welcome. A lot of it does have to do because of LeVar, his father, but like I said, it's definitely interesting that they will sign another point guard and another starting caliber point guard. It's not like a point guard that's going to clearly be on the bench, so it is interesting, especially with the whole Kawhi Leonard talks. But what we're also hearing about the Kawhi Leonard talk is their insane asking price for Kawhi Leonard. So what they're asking the Lakers for, reportedly, is Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, and 2 first-round draft picks in exchange for Kawhi Leonard. Yes, that is a lot. I know the Lakers don't mind giving up Brandon Ingram. Me, myself, I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I'm not really, really high on Brandon Ingram. I've seen him play now. I like him. I think he's a solid player. These whole Brandon Ingram and Kevin Durant comparisons, they don't make any sense. It's just because they're both tall and lanky. That's why you compare that. Brandon Ingram, clearly not the shooter and not the scorer that Kevin Durant is. But Brandon Ingram, he is a lengthy defender. His mid-range game is good, and when he was moved to the point guard position later in the season, he looked very, very good and efficient as a ball handler. So maybe Brandon Ingram definitely has value for certain teams. But now that you have LeBron James there, ball handler. You have Lonzo Ball, ball handler. You have Rajon Rondo now, ball handler. Lance Stevenson, ball handler. Josh Hart, ball handler. Do you really need Brandon Ingram there? So I think he's definitely expendable. I would not mind the Lakers trading him if it does bring in a player like Kawhi Leonard. Josh Hart, he's the guy who's going to come in. He's going to be your three-point shooter on a team that is terrible at shooting threes. Josh Hart is definitely that guy who can shoot threes for you. He's just not 100% consistent when it comes to that. Now, maybe another year in the league could definitely help him out in that aspect. But I don't mind trading Josh Hart either if it's bringing you Kawhi Leonard. The 2 first-round draft picks, if you get Kawhi Leonard, those should be late-round draft picks. So I'm not too worried about trading the 2 first-rounders either. Now, what I am worried about is Kyle Kuzma. If I'm the Lakers, I do not trade Kyle Kuzma, even if it does bring me Kawhi Leonard. And I know I could differ with a lot of people here. People saying, hey, you're getting a superstar, a top 3 player in the NBA in Kawhi Leonard. Why not move Kyle Kuzma? Kyle Kuzma adds versatility. He can play the 4 for you. He can play the 3, and he provides shooting. One thing that the Lakers definitely need is shooters. They don't have a lot of them. Even if you bring in Kawhi Leonard, he can shoot. But Kyle Kuzma is still a piece that you could use. He could come off the bench for you. You could start him. He could play the 4, like I said. I like Kyle Kuzma a lot. He has that dog in him as well. I think he's going to get even better and better. I think Kuzma is somebody that you have to keep. Out of all the young guys, I will trade Lonzo before I even trade Kyle Kuzma, just simply because it's a little easier for you to grab another point guard. It's a little harder for you to grab a stretch big, essentially, who could play the 3 and the 4. And he could do everything that you want for him, especially on the offensive side of the court. I like Kyle Kuzma a lot. I don't really move him. So who do the Spurs look to now? The Boston Celtics. They could be a potential landing spot. The Spurs will probably prefer trading Kawhi to the Eastern Conference because they don't have to play him, 4 times a season. So the Celtics definitely come up. But the Celtics, they're trying to get a package with just draft assets, essentially. They don't want to trade any of their 5 young guys. 5 of them, they're all off limits. They're just trying to trade future draft picks. We know the Celtics, they have the most draft picks out of any team right now. So they have draft picks literally to just blow, and it makes sense from that aspect. But the Spurs, they want players and they want draft picks. That's why the Celtics, unless they come up off of one of these young guys, simply really not going to work. And that's why I don't think the asking price is really going to work for San Antonio. Yes, it's insanely high right now, but that asking price is going to come down each and every week they don't trade Kawhi Leonard. Look at Philadelphia. They could also make sense, but you know they're not going to trade Joel Embiid. You know they're not going to trade Ben Simmons. Who else can they trade? Yes, they can trade Saric, but what I'm hearing is that the Spurs are going to ask for Markelle Fultz, and the Philadelphia 76ers are not willing to throw in a Markelle Fultz at all. So if you're not going to throw in Markelle Fultz, what else can you possibly get back from the Philadelphia 76ers that's going to make this worthwhile? Yes, you could get a pick, but you could get the pick for the Lakers and Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart. They're just not willing to throw in a Kyle Kuzma. So at this point, if you're trying to look for the best value, unless the Celtics throw in a bunch of draft picks, the best offer right now is from the Lakers, and it's not an offer that the Spurs are willing to take right now. So keeping Kawhi Leonard is what the Spurs are trying to do. They're hoping Kawhi can get a change of heart. We knew the Clippers, they also tried to get Kawhi Leonard, and whatever they offered clearly wasn't enough right now either. I think the Spurs are really willing to sit this one out and really wait till the trade deadline. Kawhi Leonard not playing, I think that rumor is bogus. I don't think there's any way Kawhi Leonard does not play if he's healthy enough to play. And that's another thing as to why these teams haven't pulled the trigger on this trade yet. We don't know all the medical reports from Kawhi Leonard. Is he 100% healthy? Can he bounce back? Is there a chronic injury that we don't really know about at this point? I think Kawhi should be okay, but you don't know what is the problem. Clearly, he doesn't think he's okay, and if there's a difference with the Spurs organization and their opinions on whether or not Kawhi Leonard could play or not. So we don't know the medicals of Kawhi. Teams don't know the medicals of Kawhi. Every team but the Lakers don't even know if Kawhi is going to re-sign with them, and this could truly be a one-year rental. So I think what the Spurs are asking for, you could ask for it if people knew Kawhi was healthy. You could ask for it if Kawhi will re-sign with any team. You can't really ask for it if teams don't have that clarity and the insurance that Kawhi Leonard will be back. So I definitely think it's an insane asking price right now. I think it will come down over time. But right now, nobody is budging. And the Lakers could be willing to let this thing play itself out and just try to sign Kawhi Leonard in the offseason. It backfired with them with Paul George. Maybe they can land Kawhi Leonard in the 2019 offseason. Now, another topic we're going to be talking about today is the Houston Rockets and what they're going to do with Clint Capella. It seems like, for whatever reason, they don't want to offer the max for Clint Capella. But what we are hearing right now, they will actually match any offer sheets now for Clint Capella. I think they definitely, didn't have a lot of moves they could do with their financial flexibility this offseason. I think it would have been a huge loss if they let Clint Capella go. Even if it's a max, Clint Capella, yes, he may not be worth the max to you, but if you let Clint Capella leave that current roster the way you have it, you take a significant step back. He's not, the glamour name. He's not the Chris Paul. Of course, he's not the James Harden. But Clint Capella does a lot of your dirty work. He's going to play defense for you. He's going to grab rebounds for you. He's going to get those putback finishes for you. He's going to do everything, of course, except shoot free throws. But Clint Capella is a solid piece. I don't think he's worth a max deal. But if you're the Houston Rockets, you have an aging Chris Paul. You have James Harden, of course, in his prime. But you have to win now. You cannot wait to a summer or throw away a season by allowing Clint Capella to leave and hoping you can land another big man. All the big men who are worth it are gone. The best one left is probably Brook Lopez. So you are literally stuck with Clint Capella. I think the Houston Rockets are stuck in a situation where no matter what is offered, you have to give Clint Capella a max. You have to match anything. So if a team is really smart, it is a risk, but if a team is really smart, you offer Clint Capella a max deal and you force Houston Rockets' hand, and they will have to really match that offer. You really can't do anything else. And I think a team will definitely do that. I think a team knows Houston is in that situation where everybody has gotten better. The Rockets, they lost Trevor Ariza. They signed Michael Carter-Williams. They're not a better team than they were, even with Trevor Ariza. So they can stay kind of stagnant, but they have to sign Clint Capella. If not, they take an even bigger step back. So this is huge for the Rockets. We'll see if anything else can happen, but they don't have a lot of flexibility money-wise to go out and get other free agents, so they're going to stay the way they are. They're hoping that another year of chemistry and just the confidence of knowing you went to a Game 7 with the Golden State Warriors could be enough to kind of, put them over the top, because if Chris Paul never got hurt, who knows? Maybe they are the NBA champions right now, and they're coming back to defend their title. So the Houston Rockets, they should be matching any offer for Clint Capella, even if it is the max. And I think they have no other choice but to do that. Now, another one, just a quick small story before we end this right here. Los Angeles Clippers fan. He's on Twitter by the name of Clipper Darrell. He's also a radio host of The Fan Truth. He's a diehard Los Angeles Clippers fan. Thought this was funny. Apparently, he got a phone call from LeBron James. He's saying it's time to switch things up. And now he is actually on his Twitter page and on his radio show expressing that he has switched up. And even though he's been a lifelong Los Angeles Clippers fan, which is extremely rare, he is now a Lakers fan. Now, somebody who grew up in the Los Angeles area, there's really not a lot of true Clippers fans. As a kid, it's all Lakers. You have no choice but to be a Lakers fan. That's literally all you see. I know a lot of people say, you could have been a bandwagon or whatever. When I grew up, that's all you had. Kobe Bryant, you had Shaq. Everybody, the city basically shut down during those Lakers playoffs games. You had no choice but to be a Lakers fan. And I don't think I ever seen a Clippers fan back in the early 2000s. It really wasn't until Chris Paul and all of them got there that you started seeing some Clippers fans. Then when the Clippers were a little bit better than the Lakers, that's when the Clippers fans came out. But the fact that Clipper Darrell has been there the entire time with the Clippers when nobody else was a Clippers fan, and now he is converting to the Lakers since LeBron James has got there, I think that is pretty funny. I think that's a lot of people's mindsets, and I think a lot of the new Lakers fans are definitely here. But that is pretty much everything I have for the show. The question of the day in this video, you guys let me know, do you believe that Lonzo Ball leaked out this information? Do you think he leaked it out to avoid being traded? And do you think the Lakers signing Rajon Rondo was a shot and a sign that things aren't 100% happy in the Lakers organization? I think they're kind of at war with Lonzo Ball in this camp. But you guys let me know how you guys feel about that. And also let me know how you guys feel about this new format in the comment section below. Like I said, we're still working on some things here, and it should be good to go in a few weeks possibly, but I wanted to start putting some stuff out, getting some practice in that is not off recorded. Been doing a lot of stuff that's not recorded, but I wanted to put some stuff out here for you guys. You guys let me know, what do you guys think about the new format in the comment section below? It's your boy DLloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.